the thing again.
How's that? Can you hear that one?
Do it.
All right. Welcome back.
Well, that was
Part two.
that was an intro.
Yeah, for some reason the YouTube thing didn't save. So we had to dip out real fast, and I fixed it.
We did, and now we're back. And now my screen's really tiny for some reason. So that's cool.
That's a genetics thing.
So we're gonna play it like that, huh?
Oh. Welcome everybody to the 99th episode of Geek Spot News. If you are not following us on all of your social media platforms, we have the Instagram and the YouTube and the Facebook. And if you're not following us, please check out all 98 episodes prior. It's a lot of fun, I promise you.
They're short episodes.
Yeah, come back and stay for the live version though, because I just stumbled all over that.
You can. It's less time than it takes to get through the MCU at this point to catch up on all our episodes, I think. So you're good.
You realize the amount of programming you have to tell someone to watch to understand the next movie that's coming out.
I do. What is the next movie? Oh yeah. You got even to watch Secret Invasion that's coming out. You have a lot.
Yeah. But anyway,
except for the Eternals, you never have to watch the Eternals.
How was your weekend? I mean, it's been 2 weeks, but how was your weekend?
The weeks have been good. I've been busy. I was playing some gigs. I was out in Ohio doing at a graduation party, and then I was back and I was at the shore all weekend filling in with The Zone. Check them out, thezoneband.com. Nice. Good guys. Known them a long time, but yeah, I was down playing with them all weekend, and then just wrapping up school year stuff for the kids.
Oof.
It's almost there. Almost got one in high school, which is crazy.
Oh my God. Are you that old?
Yeah.
I had to graduate already, so
I was going to say, do we want to talk about how when your kids went to high school?
No.
How about you, man? What have you been up to?
It's been a long couple of weeks. Really, it really has. Went to the pool last week for the first time in the 75-degree weather and had to take the dip. It was cold. It was very cold. It's not pool weather yet. Here we are, second weekend in a row, and still can't go to the pool because it's going to be in the damn 70s.
Is it?
It is. It's going to suck. It's nice weather, but it's not pool weather. I saw no movies. I went to Fake du Soleil last night. I called Fake du Soleil.
But what was it called?
It was I lost the text now. What was it called?
Oh my God.
You actually looked it up for me, and I
gold something. There was people involved.
So it's I'm stuttering as I scroll back through the text to find out. Here it is. It's the Water Circus Gold Unit. It was in the
Cirque Italia.
Cirque Italia. It was in the Neshaminy Mall parking lot. Did the big tents up. I thought there was a carnival going on. I was all excited, and it was interesting. It was like a little offshoot of Cirque du Soleil, only the stage would raise up and water would rain down and water would shoot up, and they did a lot of funny acrobatics. I leaned over to Ange. I went with Ange and our friend Jenny and Jay, and I leaned over to Ange right as they started their first acrobatic incident, and I'm like, we're here witnessing Dick Grayson's origin story.
Oh, and it was like that?
Yeah, she thought it was funny. It wasn't that high up, but still, they did some really cool, crazy stuff. It was a nice night out. It was different. There was no live music, no band. They played a lot of Elvis.
Oh, everybody loves Elvis.
No, not that much.
No?
My brother-in-law does.
Did you in between all that circus extravaganza make it to Comic-Con or Fan Expo this weekend?
No, I really wanted to, and I had family stuff going on this weekend that I couldn't make it. I saw a bunch of pictures, and I'm really sad that I didn't get to go. The Smallville nights that they had, Kristen Kruk showed up as a surprise guest. That would have been cool to see.
Yeah, she was at the con all weekend. I think she's the only one of the three that was actually there all weekend.
Was she?
She hasn't aged, which is cool.
No, not at all.
The other two have aged a bit.
A little. I saw some pictures, and you had made this comment to me in text. I saw a handful of people. One of our friends got their picture with Michael J. Fox and Doc Brown, which was like $350 for that picture. Um, I I love Michael J. Fox, but those pictures are really rough to look at.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to see him out. I get it to be with the fans and that. Not he
Yeah,
I would assume he doesn't need the money, but maybe he does.
I don't think so.
But it was rough looking at those pictures. I mean, he's doing well, and God bless him for making it out and doing all these things and these events, but like, just doesn't look great in the pictures. It
Oh,
came across as a little awkward. Most of the other guys all looked great. Joseph Quinn. I don't know if you heard this story. I know you're a huge Stranger Things fan. It's not on your list at all. Things that you still need to watch,
it's
but
here.
but Eddie Munson from Stranger Things, British,
Hmm.
by nationality, his work visa got delayed. So he was supposed to be here Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He made it Sunday and was like one of the top draws of the convention. So,
Amazing.
so they pushed all of his events to Sunday, and all of his signings and all of his photos and the whole 9 yards. Um, but overall, it looks like the con was a big success in Philly. I wish I was able to make it. Unfortunately, as I said, I was down playing down the shore all weekend.
There were some
Uh,
really good panels there. Hayden Christensen did a panel, like I guess a panel by himself, and obviously the Smallville Knights thing, and Michael J. Fox did one with Christopher Lloyd and the guy that played
Tom
Biff,
Baker,
Tom
not
Baker,
Tom Baker.
Tom
Tom
Baker,
something.
Tom Wilson,
Tom Wilson. Yep.
Tom
Tom
Baker.
Baker was Doctor Who.
He was my favorite Doctor Who. So there were a bunch of different little panels and stuff that looked really cool. It was just, I started a new job, and looking at the prices of these things, it was like, holy crap, man.
It's God bless everybody that does full on
Yeah.
the adventures of these cons with photos and the ops and all the things. It's a substantial investment, and
Well, the Smallville Knights thing was $200.
yeah,
Didn't even look full. Like it looked like there was a lot of they took a selfie, or
yeah,
they took an ussy.
yeah. I'll admit of the several ones that I've gone to over the years and everything. I have not made it to any panels really. I'm usually with my kids, and they're just now getting to be the age where I think they might have interest in a panel.
Yeah.
So next time they come through, they're already selling tickets for next year's. It's the first week in May, which is really early.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm intrigued to see how that plays out, because a lot of shows will still be in production, maybe,
Or canceled.
depending how
Yeah.
the WGA strike goes.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's ended anytime soon.
No, and I don't know if you saw, last time the thing that pushed it over the line was the Directors Guild
Yep.
going in and renegotiating their contract. Instead, they just signed theirs and said, "Yep, we're good."
Wow.
So they did not hang out and in support
Oh,
of the WGA and
yeah.
hold off this time. So I don't know when that'll pop back up, because they don't have a problem making shows without writers. It seems they got plenty of scripts.
Sorry, my camera. My camera.
Your camera looks like it flew off your laptop. But the other thing I saw with that, there's all the news about Deadpool 3 and him not being able to improv, and what do they do,
I got to refresh.
and all of those things. So, but Rob Liefeld even said, you know what, he doesn't have to improv while they're filming, because he does it all in post, because of the full mask, so they can just add in all the whatever they want from a what he says standpoint. So it's actually not as big of a deal, because it's one of the few characters they actually let wear their mask the
That's
whole time.
good.
Unlike Pierce Brosnan, who took every opportunity to take that damn helmet and Abu off.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember.
Every time he walked into a room, it was gone.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's the thing.
So we had talked. We got a couple finales we're going to talk about a little later on. We're going to get into the Ted Lasso finale, and we're going to get into the amazingly awesome Flash, the CW Flash
So
finale.
good. I have so many notes.
So good. Sarcasm.
It's
And I
over.
think you said Yellow Jackets, right? But
Yeah.
But to start off, I had after the Ted Lasso thing ended, I came up with this idea that hey, let's go back and look at our top 10, you and I, fantasy coaches. Your top 10 list of fantasy coaches.
Fictional coaches.
Fictional coaches, right. So this isn't real people. This covers everything from movies over the last however
Yep.
far back you want to go. I'm gonna let you go first.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
So what I learned is I don't really watch sports movies. Is what I learned.
Mhm.
So out of the 15 or so that I've ever seen that were involved coaches of any sort, I managed to somehow narrow it down to 10.
Okay.
I suppose there is somewhat in order because it's when I thought of them. So maybe, but I'm gonna start.
I forgot about that. My list has just changed already. Thank you, Dom. Go ahead.
Oh, see, well, there's mine.
Right.
Not Coach Carter, but Coach Boone was the first one on my list. Though it's a toss up if Coach Yost or even Coach Yost's daughter really did some of the most important coaching on that team.
I had no criteria whatsoever for this. I picked what I liked.
Got
That
it.
was my criteria.
So I did have Coach Boone from Remember the Titans up there first.
That's your number one. You're going top to bottom.
No, I'm just going. I'm just going. I don't know which one's going to be the top one. I don't think it's going to be that one yet.
Okay. Okay.
My next one, and mine vary, right? Because a lot of the things I learned when thinking about this list is I like movies where the coach gets thrown out, like Varsity Blues.
Okay.
But I would not consider him a top coach. However, Johnny Moxon, I feel, took over the team and became the coach.
I would disagree with that.
Oh,
because it was Paul Walker's character that actually coached the team after the coach got kicked out, as my friend Brett pointed out to me.
see, I would just say he was the play caller. I wouldn't say he was the coach, though.
Well, okay, but fair enough. That's Varsity Blues is great. That's a great pull.
Then I got Major League.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Lou Brown.
Lou
Figuring
Brown.
out how to just motivate his team properly, and it seemed to work out for him.
Yep.
Then I got Jimmy Dugan.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But was it him or was it Gina Davis? Hard to say.
It was him. Once he stood it up.
Yeah, now in the TV show, it was really Dottie that coached the whole time.
Ah, okay.
So it's hard to say which way it goes.
Right.
Then I have Guy LaFleur.
Guy LaFleur?
Yeah. Who also, Patches O'Houlihan was actually the coach. But then he passed away suddenly. Okay. Dom is on the same wavelength. He has two guys from my list already.
Okay. I'm not hinting one way or the other with mine. I'm not arguing with it. It's.
Oh, did you go Globo Jim? You went with the Cobras.
No.
Went Ben Stiller.
Keep going.
Then I got Little Giants.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which way to go. Do I go Ed O'Neill or do I go Rick Moranis? Because I barely remember the movie, but I had to dig deep to figure out what movies I've seen with coaches. Then I got Necessary Roughness.
Wow, you got Ed Gennaro?
Yeah, yes.
So obviously I had him. I put Ed Gennaro out of nowhere. Great pull.
Keep going. one of my favorites.
Yes.
Cool Runnings.
I looked at that and I thought about that because he is a fictional. He wasn't involved with the actual Jamaican team, and so he's not a real person.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a great pull.
Then I had The Replacements.
Mm-hmm.
Gene Hackman from The Replacements.
I said no to that because he coached Scabs.
Oh, okay.
Still
that's
a good
fair.
call. Still a very good call.
That's fair. And then Coach Klein would actually be my number one, probably, from Waterboy.
Oh, so a couple notables left off there, but that's fine.
There is. I see Dom coming up with the Mr. Miyagi. I didn't go coach for that.
I looked at that too.
This is Ted Lasso, obviously on the list somewhere, notwithstanding, because
I'm gonna. So since I actually had 20, and I nicked off 4. So I'm gonna give you my bottom. I'm gonna give you the 6 that don't make the top 10. Okay. Coach Boone would have made my top 10, but I can't add him in here. I put Gordon Bombay on, but then my friend Brett also reminded me that he literally cheated in every movie. So he's out.
Yeah. I've never seen a Ducks movie, so I can.
Coach Friday would go above him. He's the guy that coached the Hawks in the first Mighty Ducks movie.
Got it.
Win. Yeah. Then at number 14, I have Murray Chadwick.
Oh, I don't know who that
That's
is.
Youngblood. I went way
Oh,
back. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
You're gonna list a bunch of coaches that I'm
I
gonna
am
stare
gonna list
blankly at
them,
you for, I think.
but when I get to the 10, you'll be good. Then I have Ed Gennaro, like you. I have Sam Winters from the program, James Caan.
Okay.
And then at 11, I have Tony D'Amato from Any Given Sunday.
Oh, see, I toyed with that one.
Yeah. Now my 10 in order here.
Okay.
At number 10, I have Patches O'Houlihan.
Okay.
Okay. At 9, I have Molly McGrath from Wildcats. Goldie Hawn.
Okay. I mean, I saw it
Yeah.
once, but it didn't stick with me.
It,
So
it,
so I didn't go that route. I went with
fair enough.
coaches that I remember.
I know I remember these. This was like,
Yeah.
I mean, I had to look
Huh.
a name or two up. At number 8, Mickey from Rocky.
Okay. That's a coach.
Here's one that I was really proud of. I had to look the guy's name up. Harry Hogue
Wait, I know that one.
from Days of Thunder. Robert Duvall.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
right?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. At 6, Reggie Dunlop from your Charlestown Chiefs. Slapshot. Player coach.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely motivated his team to win. Lied to them all the whole time.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Okay.
It's most of these movies are on my list because I do have a list somewhere.
Number 5, Jimmy Dugan.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, you went number 5 for him, huh?
Yeah, because now the top 4, right?
Mm.
Number 4, Lou Brown.
Okay.
Ray was really mad at me for that because he's the only other person I told about this. He said Lou Brown number 1 all the way.
I'm still shocked Lou Brown over Patches and Coach Boone.
Oh, Lou Brown's great. Number 3, Norman Dale from Hoosiers.
Okay.
Another Gene Hackman movie.
Yeah, I would go with the Replacements over Hoosiers, but I never saw Hoosiers.
Number 2, Ted Lasso.
Okay.
Can you guess who my number 1 fantasy sports coach of all time is? It was an easy choice. It was the first name I wrote down.
I mean, you went with all the ones that I had on my list.
Mm-hmm.
So
But you did not have the one that TikTok recommended I start watching again.
Oh, of course.
Eric
Of
Taylor,
course.
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
It's the best
What
coach.
was I thinking?
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
Still proud to say, never seen an episode or the movie. of
But
Friday
you
Night.
like how the fact that I showed you that TikTok that recommended that for me, and I don't look Friday Night Lights stuff up on TikTok. So
Yeah.
no, that was fun.
No, I feel like that was just the end of the Ted Lasso video, though. Recommended that, not actual TikTok.
Well, no.
But that's a good list. So only one baseball. Nobody from like The Natural or like Eight Men Out or like
Pops didn't really do much. That movie wasn't, I mean, there's a ton of movies. Again, I left off Coach Boone, and that's Remember the Titans is one of my favorite movies. Like if that's on, if I'm scrolling through the TV and that's on, I stop. Like that's a stop right away.
Yeah, that was my first one that I wrote down. Like I said, Mickey was a good pull though. I didn't think about going that route. I probably should have thought through boxing. There's probably a few more good ones in there in boxing movies that I didn't think.
Oh, absolutely. I'm trying to look for this.
Do you count Rocky? Right, because Rocky coached Adonis.
Oh yeah, or Duke. Like I mean, you could
and Tommy. He coached Tommy.
You could definitely go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he coached Tommy. Unfortunately, that movie exists. Hang on now, I gotta find this because I pulled this. So one of the movies that's coming out soon is one I really want to see bad. Oppenheimer.
Just got a rating finally.
What's it? R. It's his first R movie.
It's going to be rated R.
Okay. Did you see? I cannot find it now. Did you see since it's in IMAX how big the film is?
No. What was this like? Size of the file?
Yeah. No. The size of the whole thing, like how big the reel is and everything.
Oh no, I didn't know they still actually did reels. I thought it was all just digital.
Only 30 only 30 theaters will play Oppenheimer in full frame IMAX 15 perfect 70 millimeter film.
I mean, look, I haven't seen much Nolan stuff besides the Batman trilogy. I'm a horrible cinemaphile for that. I haven't seen Inception. I haven't seen the other one,
I didn't see Inception either.
whatever the one that was supposed to save movies that didn't.
Interstellar?
Nope, nope. I haven't seen that one either. But that's not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of one with John David Washington. Um,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I know the one you mean.
yeah, but I just I feel like he's just a little too bougie for me with everything he does. That I'm just like, oh, okay,
Here's what I
I
was
don't
looking.
know if that matters.
The IMAX print is 11 miles long and 200 pounds.
Yeah, it seems excessive.
That's what I was looking for.
Like, is it better that way? Probably not.
It's probably a better viewing experience.
Maybe. I don't know. Do you know how hard it is to watch IMAX? You're like looking around the whole time. You don't know what to look at. You got to go see it 3 times. That's 33 miles of movie you have to watch to see everything on that IMAX screen.
And he also said, Christopher Nolan said that the best place to watch a movie in a theater is in the front middle of the third row.
Oh, dear God.
He's insane. He's a psychopath.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've watched a few movies in the first couple rows. It's not fun.
No. When I was younger, I did because I didn't care. Now it's the handicap seat right in the middle.
Well, when you were younger, you also didn't have to, where you couldn't reserve seats, so you took what you could get when you got there and you got your popcorn.
That's true. That's true.
It was a all out battle back then. You used to have to get to the movies 20 minutes before the preview started, not 20 minutes into the previews like everybody does now. Speaking of movies that recently came out or are coming out, I don't know if you made it to see Spider-Verse this weekend.
No. So I told you before that I was going to make a promise on the show and stick to it. Okay? My promise is that in the month of June, I will watch the original and then I will go see the second.
Oh, you still haven't seen the original?
Have not.
Wow. We turned on the original, so I didn't see it. My wife and kids went and saw it because
That's fucked
that
up.
was that was the right way to do it for me.
You couldn't even go see. You couldn't watch Ted Lasso without her, and she went and saw that without you.
Well, I sent her. I said, go watch this with the kids.
Oh.
Because I don't know if you remember, but I was down the shore all weekend playing. So, so they went and saw it. They said it was phenomenal. But we watched the first one again before they even went and saw the second one, just Sunday morning. So, I've heard great things. If my one kid was not at a high school thing tonight, I would have him come on and do a quick review, spoiler free. But I know Dom has a lot of thoughts on it that you can probably catch on his show.
He did. He dropped a review. He dropped a review the other day. He gave me a sneak peek of it Saturday, a little early. So go check out his channel, The Ace Avenue, DAACE Avenue. He does some pretty damn good reviews. He does.
And then eventually Frank will start clearing off his list and get to see the biggest movie of the year, and we can talk about it.
I have plans to do that this summer. I really do. I have plans to actually clean up my list. I'm only on episode 3 of the Ted Lasso rewatch, so I have plenty of times to.
Oh, Charles saw that and Super Mario Brothers at the drive-in, which is awesome.
Oh, okay.
I
haven't been to a drive-in.
I don't know if I could. Is it dark enough for the way the movies are now? Because I feel like they're so dark that it would get washed out, just the way that it outside. But maybe not. We only have one drive-through anywhere near us back here, and it never shows like new movies. I don't think.
You're not going to go see Oppenheimer at the drive-in?
No. I probably won't see Oppenheimer.
So there's another big movie coming out this summer.
There's a couple big movies coming out this summer.
Barbie. The Barbie movie.
No, that isn't the one I thought you were going to mention. But yeah, Barbie's coming out.
It actually caused an international pink paint shortage because of the colors, and everything is pink.
So to be fair, it caused a shortage for that one paint company of that one shade of pink.
Hey, I'm just instilling fear into the universe, okay?
You're like, I'm just reading the headline. I don't read past the headline of the article.
The shade is called like Rocco or something. I actually read this article a little bit.
Yeah. It was because they had to keep repainting the house all the time because it didn't popping up after like a day.
Right.
So they had to keep buying more paint and repainting the big Barbie dream house. Look, the movie looks great. I
I'll,
will see it.
I'll go see it.
Yeah, it's right after Spider-Verse for you. I know.
I get
I
3
thought you were going to talk about the Mission Impossible movie, which
I
I keep saying I'm going to see them in the theater and then I put it off, but I feel like I have to go see this one.
that's opening soon, right? That's like a week or two?
Yeah, I feel like I have to. I mean, Tom Cruise literally drove a motorcycle off a cliff
Yeah. I get
multiple times.
3 free movies a week, and they filmed that first. That was the very first thing they filmed. So if he ruined that and died, there was no movie.
Yeah, it's crazy because that was one of the previews of one of the movies I saw not too long ago where they showed that whole thing getting filmed. I think it was before Avatar. And I was like, "What? I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go see it."
3 free movies a week. I'm in. I would pay to see that anyway because I like those movies.
Yeah, I haven't seen one in theaters. I don't think since like the second or third one. And I don't even know what number we're on.
I don't remember. It might be
Oh,
7, 8,
I
9.
want to say it's 7 and 8 is already filmed.
Not as many as Fast and the Furious.
There's gonna be 75 Fast and Furious
Thank
movies.
God. A poorly received Bruce Willis movie is getting a TV remake with an MCU star and a Fantastic Beasts star. Can you guess what poorly received Bruce Willis movie?
It's got to be Hudson Hawk.
No.
Oh,
I would be actually really excited if it were. But this was a movie of his that I really liked. It featured a young Jack Black and Richard Gere.
the rookie?
No.
Oh, the kid,
Jackal.
the jackal.
The
Oh,
Jackal?
Jesus. Vaguely.
It's a
Isn't that the one where he had the blonde hair?
Yes, and he was
Yeah.
like, yeah. So it's gonna be called Day of the Jackal, and it's gonna be starring Lashana Lynch and Eddie Redmayne.
I'm good.
It was 1997.
Dom is throwing major shade at you in the chat, by the way.
What?
3 free movies and Frank still doesn't go.
I had a lot of stuff going on this week, man.
He also said good things about the Little Mermaid, which is actually on my list. I just need a day when I can take my daughter, as I think that might be her first movie she goes to. I just got to figure out when I have a day off.
So, here's news that I don't know how it's going to be taken. The Office is getting the Office remake is happening. Amazon Prime in Australia is doing a female-led version of The Office per Ricky Gervais. It's going to star comedian Felicity Ward as Hannah Howard, the manager at packing company Finley Craddock. The synopsis for the show reveals that Howard will go to great lengths to keep her work family together after news comes down from head office that her branch is being shut down in favor of a work-from-home model. Now, that's actually a really cool concept because it's taking the original concept of The Office where they were shutting down branches due to, financial reasons. They were going to instead of expand and they were going to close down. I like the concept of it. I'll watch it if it comes on because I love everything in The Office.
Have you watched the original? Because look, the one that you love is already a remake, so
right.
They're just doing a remake of the remake.
I watched the first episode and it was one of those British humor things that I couldn't get because even the pilot episode of the American Office is a shot-for-shot remake of the pilot episode of the British version. All the jokes, all the dialogue, it's like all the same. And it's an okay show, but it doesn't really that's not what grabs me into the show. Like I had to give that a good 3. Like Diversity Day was the episode that grabbed me in for the American Office.
Never seen it.
It's one of the greatest episodes that couldn't be shown. It's bad.
No, any of them. I've never seen any of them.
I know you haven't.
I'm busy watching other things. Like Manifest, which is back. Oh my god, it's so good.
I heard that that's really, really good.
I'm 4 episodes in to the second half of the final season. And because I know you're not going to talk about this, Fear the Walking Dead is back. They're on episode 4 already. They have 2 left until they do their break. Look, I don't know if you saw this show called The Last of Us that you happen to rave about. It's the same thing as The Walking Dead. So The Walking Dead is a little better than The Last of Us. Controversial opinion there.
That is.
Well, ironically, Fear the Walking Dead brought in like kids this season, so it's actually almost exactly like The Last of Us,
Oh.
except for more developed characters. Um, so yeah, I highly recommend this season. Lenny James is doing awesome work. The extra cast members they brought in are fantastic. Jenna Elfman had a great standalone episode a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Maybe I'll.
You no, don't lie. It's fine.
I
It's fine.
probably won't know.
No, look, there's to be caught up on the Walking Dead universe at this point. This is the 18th season of television you need to watch,
Oh,
not counting the other 3 spinoffs that are coming out in the next like 6 months.
no, I'm good. I'm good, yo. In the Star Wars universe,
Heard
really
of it.
2 pieces of good news.
Mm.
Mark Hamill, quote, "They don't need Luke Skywalker anymore. He has no plans to return to Star Wars. We're
Okay.
moving past him. Love him, but we're
well.
moving past him."
Well, Mark Hamill is moving past.
On the heels of that, Ian McDiarmid says that he will not be in any new Star Wars movies either, which is also a very, very good thing.
Did he sign off his likeness and his voice so it doesn't matter what he says?
Probably, but these are 2 of the rumors floating around for the new Rey movie. Neither actor is planning at this point in time to appear in that movie.
Yeah, until they back up the money truck and they're like, "Yep, you know what? Sure."
I actually
I don't remember now. Did Ian do the voice on Clone Wars?
I'm not.
'Cause if he didn't, they don't need him.
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
All right,
Like looking it up.
that's fine.
There, Katie Sackhoff said that there is an outtake from The Mandalorian season 3 where there is a Bo and Din Djarin kiss, teasing a possible romance down the line between the 2 of them. How do you feel about that?
No, I'm good.
That would mean that Pedro Pascal would have to show up a couple times to film some scenes.
Yeah, I feel like I'm good.
I don't think he was in it, or maybe he was.
Oh, so you actually had Tim Curry
No shit.
was the voice for a little while, because hold on. Who was the original voice? Ian Abercrombie was the original voice on the show, and then when he passed, they brought in Tim Curry to finish out his lines.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
which is kind of cool.
Disney is getting a $1.5 billion write-off for the Disney Plus and Hulu content removals.
Yeah, look. What boggles my mind is how many things they pulled off there. Like,
Well, we went over the list, but
yeah,
did they pull more off after that or no?
no. But I mean, the list was we just scratched the surface of the list. The list was massive.
Yeah, it was really, really, really. I don't get
Instead,
it.
they're just going to keep releasing, documentaries about the Duggar family and Jelly Roll.
Yeah, that's what we want.
That's what everybody wants. I mean, look, my wife's watched all of them, so I guess that is what people want because she did not watch the National Treasure reboot, and
Not a lot of people did, apparently.
barely hung out in the room while I watched Willow. So
There won't be a second season of that because nobody watched it.
because Nicolas Cage wasn't in it, so
Well,
their own fail.
let's
Speaking of that, Renfield soon.
not just Renfield, but
I got to get Renfield on the list soon.
Fast and the Furious has almost has crossed $500 million already. Across the Spider-Verse had the 3rd best Spidey opening weekend ever.
I'm guessing behind what Far From Home and No Way Home
Let's see.
would be my guess.
Yes. Between 2007 Spider-Man at 151.1 million and Spider-Man No Way Home at 260. So it pulled in
2007's which one?
2007 Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3. Okay.
So it pulled in Across Spider-Verse pulled in 120.5 million.
Well, it doesn't have Topher Grace, so I mean, it's never going to hit.
No. Also, Josh Allen is an asshole, and I hate him.
Got it.
He's been seen in public with Haley Steinfeld.
Oh,
yeah.
I feel like there's an age gap there, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe. Sticking with celebrity breakups for a moment.
Oh.
Did you see T Swift? T Swizzle broke up with the guitarist from the 1975s.
No, I saw she swallowed a bug at her concert yesterday.
No, I didn't see that. I saw,
Yep.
but I did see there's a picture of him kissing a security guard during one of his shows, and the next picture is she broke up with him.
Well, that's exciting for both of them.
It's exciting.
He will be the subject of a new album, and she will have a new album out in 2 days.
Yep. Did we talk about that concert that was here?
No, which one? The Taylor Swift one?
Yeah, the Taylor Swift stuff.
Did you go?
No, but did you see the amount of people that were tailgating outside? Have you seen the videos of that?
No, I feel like everybody I know was at either that show or Ed Sheeran this weekend. So
it was like 20 to 30,000 people outside the Link, sitting in the parking lot singing with her. Like, there's amazing videos of it.
Yeah, no.
She goes up to MetLife Stadium, and they're like, nobody's allowed outside. If you don't have a ticket, get the hell away.
That's smarter.
Yeah, for there, because it's in the middle of a swamp.
Yeah.
I heard that Ed Sheeran actually puts on a phenomenal show.
Yeah.
Like, his band only plays like 6 songs.
Yeah, and he just does all the rest solo.
Yeah, I saw a video.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it's cool as hell. Tom Holland confirmed Spider-Man 4 meetings have started, but everything's at a creature crawl, slow pace because of the writer's strike. So we got that.
It's fair.
And in the universe of the DC world, director James Wan has confirmed that Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has undergone changes throughout productions to fit James Gunn's new DCU plans.
Interesting.
And very interesting. There was another thing that happened in the DC universe. Was it a week ago now?
It was a week and a half.
Week and a half?
A long time.
You took extensive notes.
I have some notes.
I want to hear your.
Some of them are. I tell you what. How about I give my notes with no additional context?
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
So if you've been watching our show, there was a time when every week we gave a recap of the current episode of The Flash, along with all of the other Arrowverse shows.
That's how we started.
Leading up to Crisis. That was still under a different name, but I'm sure you can still find them posted online somewhere if you'd like to do a rewatch of the lead up to Crisis with us. It was 3 to 4 to 5 shows a week, I believe we were watching at that point.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So The Flash is the last remnant of all of those shows, and it hung out and made sure that the Arrowverse ended with a whimper. And just horribly done, and probably some of the worst writing I've ever seen on television. This season, and all culminated in this final episode. So when I didn't take notes for the first few minutes, and there's not a lot, so I'm just going to read these without context. And if you want to jump in and explain who characters are, you can, Frank. So, all right. So my first note: hey, we've still got a jitter set. Want to wreck it? This week, on whatever powers Kyo needs to have, she can absorb and redirect negative speed force. Because every week, whatever powers they need Kyon to have, they just give to her because she's goddess. I don't know if you know.
Power of the week instead of villain of the week.
Then I have hey, we've still got this Star Lab set. Want to wreck it? Then I wrote, please let Chuck die. And then I wrote, God damn it.
That would be when Chuck didn't die?
Correct. Okay. I think that's when that was.
Yeah.
And I've got Jay Garrick can now steal speed because why not?
Yep.
We'll have him steal speed. Kyon, the goddess who can do whatever she wants, can now access the negative speed force because why not? And send Barry there. Then I've got, hey, we've still got the apartment set. Want to wreck it? And then for the big bad final battle here, I wrote, well, that was easy. Because, that's how it was. Then, and Barry is brought back from that to the birth of his daughter, all healed and in street clothes
Yep.
from having the crap knocked out of him being in a Flash uniform. But
Well,
Keown had street clothes in a backpack for him on his trip back, I guess.
well, in his defense, accelerated speed healing works when they need it to.
Yeah. Next note. Still no kid for Joan Cecile. Nobody's watching this kid, but the kid's not there.
Nope.
Harrison Wells comes back to help Keown leave.
Mm-hmm.
Iris was in labor for like a day, I feel like, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was night, and then it was a battle, and then it was morning, and then everybody had time to get there. Joe had time to travel, from 17 states away or wherever he moved.
She paused the pregnancy for him.
At this point, I was a little disinterested in the show, so I had newborn babies don't give an F about you singing to them.
Nope.
Where the baby was like, stop crying because Barry sang. I was like, they don't really care. And then somebody else left, and I was she got a week to say goodbye because Keown said she was going to leave. So it was like, and then they cut to a week later because she had all that extra time as a goddess, And then I was like, so Caitlin is back? Question, question, question. And then why is old Nora still around, and what happened to her brother? And why isn't Wally there for all this?
Well, Wally served his purpose.
But Wally wasn't there, and neither was their kid because their one kid came to all their things, but the other one did not.
Right. He's got to stay in the future and protect stuff.
And Joe actually, the words came out of his mouth from the writers that Cecile was the best mom a girl could have. The one who they spent the whole season talking about how she abandoned her family for no real good reason.
Right.
And hasn't seen her kid all season.
She's a superhero.
And the kid still lives with her dad when she's like 31, according to our future post. So that's weird.
Yeah.
And then I finished with they weren't married, question mark, question mark. And that was my notes. Of the ninth season series finale of a show. Those were my thoughts during this show. Not like, wow, that was great.
We had 2 finales in the span of a week, right? We had one finale that we're going to talk about in a couple minutes here that was the exact opposite of the Flash finale. The Flash finale managed to ruin every character, let me say that, character on that show. The actors that portrayed them were fine. I never had a problem with Candace Patton as Iris. I thought she was great in the early seasons because the writing was good. When Eric Wallace took over, everything went to shit.
Yeah.
He literally.
Unfortunately, that was season 3.
Right. That's about where the show started to go off the rails. Carlos Valdez didn't come back. He said it was scheduling problems. I'm sure he looked at a script and went, yeah, no, F that.
And that's what they said for the kid, too, why they didn't bring him back.
The whole, like, the first 3 seasons, the whole run, Barry, run thing was cool. And then it was just, stop showing up, Barry, stop showing up. Like, it got to the point where he wasn't even around. And then you have these 4 super villains. And they got, 30 seconds, a minute of screen time each?
Yeah, they burned, not even the Flash needs to take them out. Everybody else can take out all these that were big bads for entire seasons that now can't hack it against one person on Team Flash.
Right. Like use the final season to build up, give an episode or 2 to each of these characters, build up stuff. Nothing.
Yeah, I heard a great premise for it where like, all these villains come back, right? And they team up, and then the rest of the season is Barry going back through time and revisiting all of the stars that have been on the show over the years and fighting back with all these and beating all these guys again. Like, how great would that have been?
Yeah.
Instead, it was all scheduling because their kid couldn't come back this episode or this second half of the final season because scheduling. He's on Broadway doing something.
Right. So and then we get future Nora holding baby Nora. Isn't that a paradox of some kind?
That breaks like every rule, basically. Unless that Nora, because the only workaround to it, and odds are good that Nora is from an alternate timeline and not that one, right? Because everything gets changed every 2 weeks.
Right.
And there's numerous things that we were promised for 9 seasons that they never paid off. Like, Gideon being built by Barry. Barry still doesn't seem smart enough to have built Gideon.
No.
And then randomly at the very end of the show, he now has the power to pass the Speed Force on to whoever he wants
Yeah, I had to
and
look that up.
send it to. Yeah, he doesn't. And then
No,
send
I
it to these other characters. Max Mercury, who's actually a fascinating character.
right.
That was one of the first speedsters in the comics. He was an Native American who was like a messenger between camps, and then he found the Speed Force while he was trying to continue to run faster and faster, and got brought into the Speed Force. And then he spent time ever since then trying to go faster and faster and kept jumping forward in time. So like that's how they explained that he was around during World War II when the Justice Society was around. Was a speedster then, and then he was around later, but he's like an old man who keeps trying to get back to his original time now and can never jump the right way. And he becomes a real mentor to Bart Allen. And there's a ton of adventures with Impulse and Max Mercury together. And then the other ones, we got another new Jesse Quick they introduced just because.
Basically, yes.
I was like, but we already had Jesse Chambers. Why are we doing Jesse Chambers again? For no reason other than just say, hey, look, Jesse Chambers. Okay, bye.
Overall, it was the most disappointing 47 minutes of television I watched.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was horrible. It was such a. I was so excited for that show when it first came out in the first couple of seasons, and it was like, oh my god. And
yeah, this is what a superhero show on TV should be.
Right. So even and I'll finish off my part of this with, even when Arrow was really, really good, and then they brought magic into it and it was really, really bad, they managed to come all the way around and make it good again up to the end. Like, that show kind of redeemed itself a little bit and got a really nice finale for it.
Well, I mean, I'll wrap mine up with so I think in preparation for the writers' strike, the writers on this show went on strike 2 seasons ago.
Oh, Jesus.
And they just used whatever scraps were lay around on the floor because they definitely didn't finish any storylines or actually plot anything out and tie it back to anything. So,
No.
Good riddance to the Flash now, and I'm sad that I will not have anything in particular to hate watch anymore.
Well, on the heels of that, we're going to go over to a series finale. I'm sorry, a season finale. It's a season finale. It was not labeled as a series finale. It was labeled as a season finale. So if you have, at 47 minutes and 37 seconds, not watched the Ted Lasso season finale and you've managed to avoid the 9 billion spoilers that are on the internet, we're gonna dive into that for the next couple of minutes to close out our stuff here.
You know, I've started dodging most of those spoilers, by the way, now. I just deleted TikTok. I don't get shit spoiled for me anymore.
I just don't go on it. But I also stayed up Tuesday night to midnight.
Yeah.
Watch it, and was a zombie at work the next day. What did you think overall of the season 3 finale of Ted Lasso?
You know what? I thought it was great.
I should record that and hold on to it.
What? That I said something was great?
Yes.
I do that sometimes. You should, if you'd ever watch Yellow Jackets, we could talk about that. I'll tell you how awesome it is. You just don't watch any of the good shows. So yeah, I thought, the last few episodes, they started bringing it back to what I enjoyed about the show. This season had some really rough points. The episode started really weird. I was like, I don't understand what's going on. I thought that I missed an episode.
So did I.
And I still don't know what went on there.
Neither do I.
Because it still seems like, I feel like it something
looked like they did, but the way the show ended, you realize, no, there's no way they did.
Yeah. But I thought it tied up a lot of storylines really nicely. It gave, I still don't understand. Sorry, Dom's throwing.
Thanks, Dom.
Dom's has my back in the chat.
Yeah.
So with I still don't get the Nate storyline. I thought that could have been handled better all season. Because he's a grown man. So like I don't get that's where that one played me weird, because he's not like a young dude.
He's never really acted like a grown man, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I know, but but he was like a well-off coach of one of the best football teams in England. So I don't understand that storyline. Um, but like I loved what they did with Roy. I loved what they did with Jamie. I could have used more Jamie all season.
Yeah.
Like a lot more Jamie, but I don't know if it would have hurt his story if I would have seen him more. But I really thought that actor did a fantastic job this season,
Oh, I hope he gets
uh,
kind of an award.
showing growth off screen, even in the just making the plays the right way.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think the story of Richmond is done because we didn't really get wrap ups of most of the team.
No.
So that's what makes you lead to, hey, maybe the next season is just called AFC Richmond and not Ted Lasso, a la the Connors, you know. So, but yeah, I have no real complaints about the finale. I was in the whole way through. I thought it tied everything up well. And they even set up the other spinoff of a women's soccer team.
I ran I ran through the emotional spectrum that show. It got me choked up. I was laughing. I was upset. One of the only real complaints I have, and it's not even really a complaint, is the Rebecca thing felt forced.
Which one?
The one with the guy, the pilot, that felt forced.
Oh, where she ran into him at the airport.
Right. Like
Yeah.
that whole thing felt a little forced. Like, she had the whole psychic thing where she was going to be a mom. And at one point, a friend of mine was speculating that her friend Sassy was going to pass away and that she was going to get custody of Sassy's daughter. That didn't happen. And then when the two girls showed up at her door, Rupert's friend and his ex, I thought maybe that would be the thing that got her the kid, and they just that just went away. And Rupert kind of turned more Darth Vader-ish almost, with the all in black, and his office looked like a Sith Lord, and
he turned into mustache twirling.
Yeah,
twirling bad guy for the finale, which was weird.
The callbacks in this episode were and it wasn't like a show that does callbacks and you're like, oh, that's so stupid. All the callbacks in this final episode were so well done. And they were subtle. Like when they all rebuilt the Believe sign, the book that Jamie pulls down is the book that Ted gave him in the second or third episode.
Yeah.
And you could tell it was all worn and beaten up, so you knew he read it. And that also speaks to that character growth you were talking about. And the talk the episode before between Beard and Nate, and then the talk between Nate and Ted, like they really, really gut punched you with that stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought of all the season finales I've seen in the last 10 years, this has to be one of the best done, because every single character, every single character had the ending they deserved. At the end, it looked like Ted's back together with his wife, and they really played up the doctor.
Oh, see, I don't know about that.
Yeah, see, so if you watch at the end when they kind of come back from him coaching the game, she's there, but the guy's not.
What? Well, we just saw her at the door. We didn't see him not there.
She's at the soccer game.
No, right, but the other guy probably has a job.
Maybe, but
he's a doctor.
I would like to think that maybe that's open to interpretation at this point.
Yeah, I don't think they did the work to make them. I mean, you saw him disinterested, about soccer. Which, look, I get it.
Yeah,
it's if you ever watched a
sporting
event with my wife.
Oh,
you know that the rest of us are hooting and hollering and cheering, and she's reading a book.
But there was that. There was the Jamie doing the acting on the field, like the callback to that episode. And I have watched the first couple episodes again, and that's like the third episode where he's doing that. I want the ball. Give me the ball. I need the ball more. And it was really well inserted into the show, the callbacks to other stuff.
Yeah, everything was definitely intentional in this finale.
Absolutely.
The TikTok you were talking about earlier that you sent me.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
Which one?
The one with the picture that she adjusts on the wall?
Oh my God. That was the best one of them all. And I picked up on it, but the TikTok drove it home. So when at the end, when they're giving out when they're in the bar and May has the stacks of ownership papers, it is kind of weird that the three guys have one paper. Like that was a little weird. Like why wouldn't they each have one?
Yeah, look, I don't know how much it costs. I don't know if any of them even work.
Right. So she walked over and she reached up and she adjusted the picture of the Native American, and that's the exact thing that Ted Danson did at the end of Cheers, as he fixed the picture of the Native American. It's the exact same picture. That was a great little Easter egg.
Yeah, that was fantastic. They pulled that one out.
This thing real fast before we go is a couple of unanswered questions. Did Ted Lasso and his wife get back together? I say they did. You don't think so?
No, because I think that would do a disservice to the storytelling that they did. Because I don't know if they justified that. Like you don't have to be together to love the person,
No,
right?
that's true. That's true.
Or to be good co-parents. Because I think that's a message they can drive through, right? That doesn't, and yeah, I think that's the way they were going with it.
Also, before I go back to this, the appendix thing on the plane was great because he was holding the wrong side.
Oh yeah.
The CGI at the wedding was absolutely atrocious.
Oh, it was so bad.
So bad. Did Rebecca officially become a mom? I think she does. I think she gets together with that guy, and you know.
Well, did the girl's mom die, or did she
No.
just left? Right.
It sounded like she was kind of like an asshole.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got too.
But. Right. Did Keely get back together with Roy or Jamie? I don't think she got back together with either of them. I think she did that whole I'm happy with who I am as myself right now.
Yeah, which is disappointing.
Well, her getting back together with
but the way they acted about it totally lines up.
Yeah. How did Sam join the Nigerian national team? That's a question that is I don't really need to know the answer to that. It was a nice, sweet little thing, but it'd be nice to know. But I you know,
it probably just means that dude got out of soccer in general after he got shut down.
Why wasn't Ted at Coach Beard's wedding? And actually, Brendan Hunt explained that in an AMA on Reddit, basically saying that Ted pretty much just got back to America. It would have been pointless for him to get on a plane and come back to England. That made no sense story-wise.
Right.
He didn't need to be there. Why did Dr. Sharon return to AFC Richmond? Honestly, I don't need to know the answer to that. It was cool to see her, and it was.
I never have a problem with her returning. She got hired by another club for that season. That was all.
What's next for Trent Krim after finishing his book? A question I don't need answered. It's one of those.
No, I mean, look, it's Trent Krim has his own Twitter. If you want to find out, go follow the Twitter.
There you go. I have three more. What's next for AFC Richmond? Roy's the coach.
They still have to win the league.
Yep.
They still didn't win.
Will Ted Lasso ever come back to Richmond? I don't think so. Maybe to visit, but I don't think he ever goes back like as a job.
No.
Even though Rebecca made a nice pitch for him to come and bring the family and she'd get them all set up and everything, no. And the last question is, will there be any Ted Lasso spinoffs? I've heard different things. There's behind the scenes talk that says no. There's the guy that played Isaac basically in an interview said that, there's something coming, but didn't elaborate. They have the option, they tease the women's team, which would be cool. I'd watch that. This to me was as almost a perfect a finale as you can get.
Which way do you think, if they did do one, would you get a Ted Lasso spinoff or an AFC Richmond spinoff?
I think you would get an AFC Richmond spinoff. I think these characters are strong enough to stand on their own without Jason Sudeikis being there. You could have him pop in on cameo phone calls or something like that. But you have Roy and Ned basically running the team now. The men's team, if you go to a women's team, you can go a whole different way. And the way Hannah Waddington said in an interview that I saw, that she said she would play the character Rebecca forever. She wants to play the character forever.
She's having a blast just in life.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. And she said that. What was it that she said? How did she word it? She basically said that there's the opportunity to go, and that's what it was. Is that Bill Lawrence and the creators basically said that this was a 3-season arc from the beginning.
Yeah.
that if they did the TV show like this, and then they could do another arc of TV. It doesn't have to be a Ted Lasso arc. It can just be an AFC Richmond arc, or it can be something like that, which I would be fine with, because I don't want to see the characters go away. It was great watching.
Agreed. I think there's, if they do another spin-off or something, I would watch that. But I think all around they wrapped it up really nicely. So if there isn't, I'm also okay with that. But we know there will be because it's just a money grab. So
Absolutely. But,
but
that's
yeah,
all I got. That's all I got.
yeah. So you get to hear me say we got to review one of the worst finales we've ever seen and one of the best finales we've ever seen. So tell your friend to come listen to the review. They can do it anywhere that they get their podcasts: Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you want. Drop us a rating wherever it is. Drop us a review. It helps more people find the show. And Frank will go see a movie this week or watch one at home, and we'll talk about that or something next week. I don't know where we're at. I know there's a lot of stuff coming up, but there's also so many shows ending. It's mind-boggling. So things for us to discuss next week. So thanks everybody for finding the Geek Spot with us, and we'll see you real soon.
Bye-bye.